Hey, how you doing? Sam Bell here from sambellmarketing.com, and I wanted to record a quick tutorial video as it relates to the iOS 14 update. Now, if you haven't heard by now, there are some big changes coming as it relates to how tracking is done with iOS 14, the big Apple update, which is basically going to allow users to opt out of tracking. So if people want to, if people do not want to be tracked, they can literally just say, I don't want to be tracked, and all of your cookies from Facebook ads, Google ads, really any type of cookie-based tracking isn't going to work. So unfortunately, this has also caused Facebook to make some changes in terms of how they actually track our data. One of the first big changes they rolled out was changing the attribution window from 28 days to 7 days. So basically, if a conversion does not occur within that 7-day window, then more than likely it's not going to get picked up, and this can throw tracking all off. Well, they're also reducing the amount of events that you can track as well. So there's a lot of different things that are taking place, and there's some additional steps you have to go through just to be able to properly track conversions, which is why I am recording this video, because I want to show you how you want to set up this go through this process and actually set up the tracking the proper way. You want to also do domain name verification, and I'm also going to share with you how you can actually implement CAPI, which is essentially doing custom conversion tracking via the Facebook API. So if there are no pixels essentially that can be tracked via the browser, let's say someone has a blocker on, you can still pass conversion data directly from your website into the Facebook API. So with that said, let's go ahead, jump in, and get started. So I'm going to do this on a new site that I'm developing for a funnel that I'm working on called fixmyleakyfunnel.com. So the first thing I do, I have to verify this domain, okay? So what I'm going to do is come over to my Facebook account, if I can find it, because I have so many different accounts up here. All right. So I'm going to come over to my business manager. All right. Now this does assume that you at least know how to access business manager. You're just going to go to business.facebook.com. Okay. And I'm going to head into my business settings. And I'm going to scroll down here to where it says brand safety and domains. So you can see I already have several domains that are whitelisted. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on add. I'm going to paste in, nope, here it is right here. I'm going to copy that domain and paste that in right here. All right, fix my leaky funnel, and I'm going to click on add domain. All right, and I'm going to do what's called a meta tag verification, which basically means I just have to copy this code and make sure that it shows up in the head of my meta tag on my site. So I'm actually using a premium paid pixel, but we're going to actually revisit later on called Pixel Your Site. I'm going to head over here to the dashboard, and I'm going to go to the header and footer settings here, and I'm going to paste this code directly here. Okay, and I'm going to hit save. And basically what this does is it's going to put this code on all of my pages. So now I just need to come back here and click on verify. All right, so now fixmyleakyfunnel.com is verified. Okay, so that part is completed. So now what I want to do is I want to go through and I want to implement setting up the pixels as well as the conversion tracking. So I'm just going to refresh here. All right. So I see that is all set and ready to go. And next, what I want to do is I'm going to go over here to data and sources. I'm going to click on pixels, and I'm going to go to my main pixel here. So I'm going to open up the Events Manager. So you can see that I've already have tracking, but this is tracking for other sites. I'm going to use this same pixel on, to track this particular domain as well. So I'm going to copy my pixel ID, and I'm going to head back over here to Pixel Your Site. I'm going to pop in my Facebook pixel ID here. I'm also going to tell Pixel ID that I want to send Conversion API tracking through here as well. All right. So I have to generate what's called an API token. So now I'm going to come back over here and I can say I want to add an event. I'm going to use the Conversion API and I'm going to install the code manually. I'm going to have to come here and generate my access token. So I already have the pixel selected that I want. Then I'm going to click Generate Access Token here. Just going to copy that. Come right over here and pop that in. And I'm going to just scroll down here and save that. I'm going to hit Next. I've already implemented it because the plugin does this for me. Now, if you're using other page builders, obviously this won't work. I personally recommend, especially the way things are going now, that you use WordPress. You use WordPress. Even if you are using like a ClickFunnels or something like that, you can still use WordPress. ClickFunnels has a plugin where you can plug in the URLs, so that way you can have one dedicated domain for all of your sites. All right. It's super, super important that you set that up. But now this is set up. Now I can actually track. Now I can actually see that I have this pixel and it's being tracked from the Conversion API as well as from the web pages. Okay. And I'm going to go over here to Pages. And I can just verify this by going to my home page. And you can do that by making sure you have the Facebook Pixel Helper. Okay, so this is a Chrome plugin. If not, just Google Facebook Pixel Helper. You can put it right in. And I can see, yes, that this is loading. So now what I want to do is I want to go through and I want to create all of the custom events. Now, I am very particular about using code-based custom events. Some people use URL-based. I choose not to for several reasons. The main reason is that if a URL changes, then that conversion tracking no longer will be valid because that URL is not firing. So I'd rather use a code so that way, regardless of the URL, I can still see that custom event, and it's not based on the URL. It's based specifically on the code. If none of this stuff makes sense, don't worry about it. It will eventually, but just go through the process and set it up this way. So I'm going to open up all the different pages that I'm going to have in the funnel, because this is going to be an application funnel that I'm running here. All right, so it's my main landing page. All right, it's the application page. That's the scheduling page and the confirmation page. Now, obviously, I'm still building this out. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a little piece of code here. And I'm going to go here to Settings, Advanced Settings, Custom Scripts. All right, and you can see here where I can add the additional scripts. I'm just going to put it right here in the body. And all it is just a little piece of code. Put it right here towards the footer. All right, so this is SBMVC. So that stands for View Content. I'm going to call this LFVC for leaky funnel view content. And essentially, this is just going to track anytime someone lands on this landing page, this pixel will fire. So I'm just going to save and preview. And I'm just going to refresh this page and it should load up. Let's go back here and edit. I just want to make sure that I got this installed. Yep, it is there. So let's just check this one more time. Save and preview. All right, so now I have this custom event loading up, LFVC. So now I'm going to go to the next step. So this is going to be the apply page. And same thing, we'll go right here. And again, regardless of what page builder you're using, you're essentially going to do the same thing. Right? So you want to make sure that you're putting the script in the proper place. So I'm going to save and preview. So now I should see LF apply. All right, so now I'm going to put this, so this will be the application page. And I need to make the landing page here first for this one. So I'm just going to choose a blank page for now. All right, so this will be calendar. So LF calendar. I'm just going to save and preview. All right, so that's there. And this will be the thank you page that people will go to. Now, once this is done, now I'm going to go back and make sure that all these events are firing. So I'm just going to add this last code here. So apply. So this would be I'm just going to put app. I'll just put application thank you page. All right, so I'm just going to save and preview this. And all right, LF app apply. Okay, so you have to do this for all the pages. You have to fire the pixel, make sure that it's properly loading. So, so now that we've gone through, let's see, I have to hide this one too. So now that we've gone through and done that, I should be able to come back here. And once these events are loading, they should populate. They should begin to populate here. So I don't see anything showing yet, so it may take a little bit. for them to load. But once they start populating, then our next step in this process is to go and to create a custom conversion for each event. So I'm going to wait for these to load, and then we're going to come back, and then once they're loaded, then I'll walk you through the custom event conversion. All right, so now a little time has passed, and I can see that all these events have started to load, right? So we have LF VC for view content. We have LF apply for the application, and then LF calendar for the calendar, and then LF app TY for the thank you. So now what we need to do is we need to go and create a custom conversion for each event. Okay, so I'm going to come here, go to custom conversions. I'm going to click on create custom conversion. Make sure I'm using the right. All right, so here you see where it says conversion event. I'm not using URL traffic. I'm using my custom events that I created. So I'm going to start off with LFVC. I'm just going to name it the same thing so that way I know exactly what it is. So this is view content. All right, I'm going to select my category. The category for this is view content. All right. And then I'm going to create that. So now that event is listed, LFVC. I'm just going to go down the list, and I'm going to do the same for all the others. All right, so that's LFVC. I'm going to do it for LF apply. So this is going to be the application page. All right, so this is also going to be a view content page once they land here. And when they actually submit the application, then I will change the event optimization here. Okay. And you'll see exactly what I mean. Now, in order for someone to make it to the calendar page, they will have to have successfully submitted the application. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to choose submit application. All right. And then lastly, we have app thank you, right? So this is so after someone successfully schedules an appointment. Okay, so I'm going to select appointment here, the booking of appointment schedule. All right, so now I have all of these events that are created. So now I can actually go back into my settings here. And this is where we're going to set up the aggregated event measurement, right? Because now all of these custom conversions have been created. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to where it says configure web events. And I'm going to look and wait. I'm going to wait for the domain to come up. So it says fix my leaky funnel. So here it is. I'm going to click on manage events, edit. And now I can come here and begin to add my events. So it's still not loading here, so it's not available. So you can see it says it will take it could take some time here. So it says once this begins, it will take 72 hours for your ads and assets to be punched for certain configurations. So it's not showing up here. Let me refresh this and see, because sometimes it takes a little bit before the events show up, even though we just created them as custom conversions. Yep. So it's not there yet. So we're going to have to just wait a little bit until Facebook syncs up. And then once it syncs up, then Facebook will recognize that these custom events can be associated with fixmyleakyfunnel.com. But basically, I'm just going to go down the checklist here, and I'm going to choose custom conversion, and then it will give me the actual custom events the custom conversion events that we just created here. So all the ones that we just created. Yep. LF app, LF calendar, LFVC, LF apply. So I'm just going to keep refreshing these pages just to ensure that all these events are firing off. And what's going to happen is eventually I will be able to see those events and come back and create them. So that's pretty much all you have to do. Just to show you what it does look like, I do have some other events that I have created under the aggregated events measurement tool. So I have some for Sam Bell Marketing, and these are all events that I've created previously. So I'm just going to edit this just so you can see what it looks like. So like when you do add one, you'll hit the drop down, choose the pixel, or excuse me, choose the custom conversion that you want, and then it should show up, all right, where you can actually choose the custom conversion that has been associated with that domain, okay? It just so happens that because we just created those, it's going to take some time for them to actually load up for the Fix My Leaky Funnel event. But once they do, they will be right here, and that I can just choose, and I'll see the drop down, and then you just hit submit, and that's it. You'll do it for all of the custom events that you created, and now you are synced up, ready to go, and can now properly track. Now, again, this does not mean that once you do this, that it's going to bypass the iOS 14 update, because if someone has opted out, there's really nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. You're just not going to be able to track, but you should have a third-party attribution tool, and we have a tool that we use and recommend across the board. So, but if you would like help getting this total process set up, and you are someone that is actively spending money on Facebook ads currently, and you want help implementing a lot of this, you do have the opportunity to book a call with myself and our agency, and I'm happy to have a conversation and let you know exactly what that would look like based on what your specific needs are. So I hope this has been valuable. Hope this has been useful. If you want to learn more information, you can just head over to callsambell.com. Again, that's callsambell.com, and I will talk with you soon. Take care.